anything more for the lighthouse. Lord, I owe my life to Him. You see, Jesus is the lighthouse. And from the rock to sin, and shone His light of love around me. And I really see just what it wasn't for the lighthouse. Tell me where would my duty day of your new beginning? Because whatsoever you think, that's what you are. And I feel the energy, always thankful for the energy. And then if you can all but have hope and faith in whatever God you may believe or think that He is, you can make it. That's what they say.
That's what they say in the Bishop.
I've been there. But I say that energy has a name. It's called the power of the Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
And I say that you can do nothing within yourself. Let me tell you people something. We deal with a lot of business people. And a lot of you are managers. Well, we've got, when the house is full, we have over 14 managers here. We raise them. But at the end of all of your motivation, at the end of you reaching whatever country you are from, that dream, American dream, the French dream, the Russian dream, whatever, if the motivation that you have received does not end up in Ecclesiastes chapter 12, what verse?
Verse 13.
Read it.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
When you get to going through all your workshops,
Come on now.
learning all your knowledge on how to succeed and hearing all the philosophies, and I've been there. Men don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. Just think about where you want to be in the next 5 years and write your list down. And you have to begin to walk as though you're there and talk as though you're there. Taking it one day at a time. As one said, you don't have to create your own will, just be a spoke in somebody else's will. Join yourself to people that are successful like you want to be. Step out of your box. Some say they're not in a box. And yet, 99% of these people who, as they call it, succeed, they don't really succeed on their own inner strength. One motivated speaker, well known, he said he read over 400 books. Then he went forward. Many of them, they go to other conferences. They read other materials. And then, sure, it worked for those who wrote it. And so they succeed, but if you notice, they all succeed and end up in the same place. Sure, they have money. They give conferences. Like, they end up in the same place. Conference after conference. Book after book. It's the same process. Sure, it will get you there. But I'm here to tell you, are they successful? Many of them, if they have any type of spiritual faith in God, they have to drop it. Because their success is not based on what they have within themselves, like they try to say, but it's based on how the population, how the public receives them. And I'm here to tell you a motivational process. If your success is based on how people receive you, it ain't real success. Because the minute they drop you, there goes your success. The minute your name is marred in the media, that's it. You lose your votes. True success is what you can attain and achieve in this life and never lose it, dead or alive. And that true success is only found in salvation. The rest is optional. Naked you came into this world and you're going to leave out naked. You will not take anything with you except salvation. All these motivational speeches and all this, you're only halfway there. Because nothing you receive secures your soul. And man is not just flesh and blood. These success and motivational speeches teach you how to get up in this world. If you are really a born-again Christian, you ought to know this world doesn't like the God you serve. That's right. So why let them feed you motivation that teaches you how to get accepted in this life? Realizing that the more you get accepted in this life, you lose that life. Because it drowns you out. It drowns him out. What is success? Everybody thinks it's money, popularity, being accepted by the people. I'm a bestseller. Why? Because over 100,000 people bought your book. That makes you a bestseller. If they didn't buy it, would it still be a bestseller? If they didn't buy it, is it still one of the best books written? You understand what I'm saying? If they never come to see you in concert, are you still one of the greatest performers there ever been? The greatest difficulty in life, people, is mastering yourself. A church was soliciting a new pastor. I'm just going to talk to you for a minute. Come on. I speak as a fool, as Paul said. I'm just going to talk to you. This church was soliciting a pastor. And one of the deacons read a letter. I've started a lot of churches. This is a letter from a pastor. Most of them had about 50 people in the congregation. I've traveled the world. I've written a lot of literature. He said, and everywhere I go, in almost every city, I started a riot. I've been locked up several times. And I've been excommunicated and put out of certain cities, not allowed to go back. I've aroused the crowd. I've been beat, threatened. Congregation has been threatened. And so many of the congregations I had to leave. But I'm willing to serve as your pastor if you would have me. And the board voted unanimously, we don't want him. There ain't no way we need this kind of trouble. And they said, anyway, who wrote this letter? And the deacon said, Apostle Paul. He wrote half the New Testament, and the church said they didn't want him. Nobody wants anybody that's going to tell it to you like it is, unless you really mean business. You don't want anybody that's going to strip you down naked so you can really see that you're not all that you think you are. But there's a God that can make you be what you ought to be. You're talking about motivation. It all leads to the same place. Even in the religious world, they use this worldly philosophy. They all lead to the same place. What do they all do? They all have conferences. They all join to the same group. Ride off the same crowd. And when they get a certain amount of people, they think they're successful. Yet they're dying. I'm talking about religious people dying of cocaine overdose. Families are being torn down. Same with the business world. Their personal lives are wrecked. How is that success? And it happens to almost all of them. Now you tell me, how is that success? It's success external. But you're not successful internal. Inward. So then you tell me, how is it you're so successful on the outside, but on the inside you're full of torment? Your life is a wreck. But you call this success. Something's wrong with the motivational teaching you received. Motivational teaching today is like the law of Moses. It can only work with the outside, show you what to do and what not to do, but it don't help you in the inside, except it has food that can get in the inside of you. And the only food that can really change a mind, the only food that can really change the heart of man is the gospel. It is the best motivational teaching you can receive because it deals with the whole man. While your motivational teachings teach you how to move people, how to get in this life, how to be prosperous, how to never be broke again, all this kind of stuff, the gospel teaches you how to let your light so shine before men, how to glorify God, at the same time how to be prosperous and be in good health as your soul prospers. Whether the world receives you or not, whether the people vote for you or not, the gospel motivation says you can still make it. God said, I'll pay the way. And not only do you have to humble yourself so that others can contribute to your cause, he said, if you give to me, I have me and give to your bosom. You don't have to change nothing outside anything. Y'all talking about all this motivation. When a lot of the principles they teach are biblical, they just take God out of it. That's right. So I'll speak as a fool. I'm going to speak as a fool. I got 108 people in my family. Don't ask no questions. In Haiti, they said, you really are the Papi. My oldest son is 63, and I'm 60. Don't ask no questions. I've been around the world 11 times, from South Africa, throughout all Russia, South Korea, West Africa, Europe, the islands, Haiti, Dominican. I've been around the world 11 times, and not just visiting, laboring. I've been before government officials. I've shaken hands with family members of presidents, made national headlines, been in the midst of war. And one time, the other night, we were self-made millionaires. And that's when I understood why the rich want tax write-offs. We learned the hard way. You don't claim $60,000 taxes. When you got to pay taxes, that's the upper class income somewhere. So we had to learn the hard way. You have to write out. We started writing out the gas, the food, the toilet tissue, toothpaste. You see what I'm saying? We started writing off everything. You got to write it off. I'm just saying. But I want to be a millionaire. Live a millionaire. It didn't change the troubles. It didn't change the faults in our character.
Talk about it now.
It didn't change the trouble in the home. Gave you a little bit more headaches. You see, because riches got wings on it. It flies to keep you from reaching. To keep you reaching. And while you're steadily reaching, you're not taking care of the things around you. Because it becomes your God. And so now you have reached the top, my brother, of the corporate ladder, but you ain't got nobody left. You done stepped on everybody to get there. So you shake hands with other big boys that have made it too, and all of you are just a bunch of lonely, rich folk. Terrible. Inner lives, no good. I have over 108 people in my family, and I'm 60. My oldest son is 63. Don't ask me questions. I've been a millionaire. The wife of my youth, who's been with her for 46 years. We alone have over 50 grandchildren. Graduated with 5 scholarships. Eau Claire, Wisconsin, Mississippi Valley State, Howard University, Lincoln University. These were all 4 years, and 2 years at Northern Illinois State. Was in recording studios at an early age. Was playing professional music at the age of 14. I played a song or two with Chuck Berry. I was in shows with Howlin' Wolf. I did a week with Lord Fushon. Lord Fushon, if you ever seen the Ray Charles story, he joined the band with a guitar player that had a process I did a whole week with him at the La Casa. He wanted to take me on the road, but my mama said I was too young. Thank God. I don't know why I'd be to this day. In and out of recording studios. Ended up going to a junior college because I didn't want to leave my family. Anybody hear what I said? Yeah, I was an early man. I had 16, I had 2 children. And I've been in and out of jail. All of that. Was almost shot dead at 15, but the Holy Ghost saved me. And the policeman didn't pull the trigger. He pulled it, but it didn't go off. And when I saw him months later, I said, man, you still on the case? He said, man, I dropped it. I'm no longer a policeman. I said, what happened, my man? He said, a few months ago, I caught some young brothers doing what they shouldn't be doing, and I almost killed one. I don't know how I didn't kill him. It shook me up so bad, I quit. He was on a motorcycle. I said, man, that was me. He screamed out, you are a dead man, and he drove away. My aunties kept us in church, and when the family didn't go, I would go. I was hit and left dead at 9 years old by an automobile. Everybody thought I was dead, even the man that hit me. Then all of a sudden, my eyes opened. And I said to myself when I was walking back across the street, what was that thumped me? Whatever thumped me saved my life. My life was over. I had just received the Holy Ghost at 8. The next year, the devil tried to kill me with a car, but God miraculously spared my life. And from that point on, I started seeing dreams and visions. Born and raised in the heart of North St. Louis. But then one of my stepdads moved us to the county, which was a good move for me because I grew up. Well, I came from a middle-class family on my mom's side. All my first cousins are educators. They have doctorate degrees. They've been to Harvard, they've been to Yale, and Washington University. Anybody hear what I'm saying? I speak as a fool. All my aunties were nurses and what have you. On the dad's side, everyday people, but a lot of them were politicians. As a matter of fact, Representative Head, I think she just retired, she didn't pass, was a cousin. I had a cousin in the Negro Baseball League. On my dad's side, a lot of them were, small time, they were mayors and police chiefs, politicians, as well as street homies. You see? My dad was a butcher, a gospel singer, a painter. My mom entered into nursing at an early age when she married my dad, and her sisters followed suit, though she was the youngest. But when my mama passed, my oldest brother Michael, said, man, look at this. Showed us a certificate, 19-something, recent, you hear me? With my mother's high school. He said, look at this. Mama went through all she went through and never finished high school. But before she passed, she took the Thomas Edison course, whatever, and got her high school diploma. Amen. Never told us. Yeah, thank you. She kept that in herself, but she did it. Though she was already an RPN, she didn't want to leave that behind. And so, anyway, in and out of jail, met the wife of my youth at an early age, met her at 11, a virtue, connected with her at 14, and what did I say? Oh, this is 46 years later. You understand what I'm speaking as a fool. We talk about motivation. What good is your motivation if it don't help you keep what you got, which is right? What good is motivation if it doesn't help you become solid within? How are you truly motivated when you gain everything on the outside but you're nothing within? You people hear me? What do you think success is? It's not just external. But if your success doesn't make you a better person within, you have nothing. What did I say? Did I say I was a millionaire? Me and Mama were millionaires? I said they didn't. Okay. When we got into sales, we went crazy with it. It wasn't nothing. I was driving a car, I was sleeping at night, and I almost swayed and almost knocked over a mailbox, but I curbed. And I went on, drove and parked the car, and I got it because I ain't worried about that mailbox. If it breaks, I just won't pay for it. Hey, I tell you, money can change because first time I went to the Circuit City and bought a monitor, they called it $800. I just flipped it out like it wasn't nothing, didn't miss it. I said, wow, this feels good. It's a different thing, you're gonna pay cash. Take a trip to up there to the Lanier area, this and that, and pay $3,000 and you ain't missed it. lose 500 and oops. It felt pretty good. Son, it felt pretty good. You see what I'm saying? It felt pretty good. But it didn't change nothing here. You see? What happens when that leaves? I was the first to buy a house. My family, you know, my brothers. And my brother Mike went to KU and graduated. He got a scholarship for singing. He graduated in business with a master's. Well, what did I say? I graduated with 5 scholarships. I got over 108 people in my family. My oldest son is 63. Don't ask no question. And but didn't know I ain't buying nothing. I ain't bought no children. I ain't okay. You know, I ain't faking no papers. I'm just trying to tell y'all something here. I've been in recording studios. I've played with professional musicians before I was 20. I was in college. I went to a junior college because I couldn't take my wife and 2 children with me to every college. Now, Mississippi Valley State gave Mama a scholarship too, but they didn't have marital provisions. And when some of the cheerleaders came up with their ministers, I'm saying, "You gonna be in the band?" Because this ain't the right place for us. That ain't the right place for us. And then all that, what they call that wheezing and oozing, what they call that initiation. What they did. And I was an ex-street thug. I done took that saxophone and wrapped it around their neck. You talking about hazing me. You come talking about, "What's my name?" "I got your name." I said, "This ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. You ain't putting your hands on me. I'm from St. Louis." I had to leave that alone. Mom had got a scholarship to go to Europe for a dance. Picked out 100 people to go to Europe for a dance group. I said, "Listen, we both can't travel, so you're gonna stay home." They were waiting on me for in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. They were waiting on me. "Where's Larry?" Well, he didn't come. So that's where I was going to go next. They were waiting on me. But our parents said, "We'll keep the children, LaShawn and Dion, and you all go away to school." I said, "Nope." Now, I grew up with 11 marriages. My mama was married, 5 times? My daddy was married 4 times. Everybody in my immediate family have been divorced from their first wives, only by the grace of God, but me. I fought spirits and demonic oppression as a child because I was singled out. Me and my mom didn't get along in our early days. I later on found out because I reminded her too much of my daddy. When she looked at me and said, "You just like your daddy." Then I understood. However, my father would come around and pick us up sometimes. He did the best he could. And my other stepdads would come around and I would try to look at them as father until they started making a difference. They beat me different than they did their children if they beat them at all. And I had to say, "They're not my daddy." I was abused. I was molested by relatives. I was abused by babysitters. Beat, choked, while my brothers would laugh. David didn't mean no harm. Thought it was funny. Oh, they thought it was funny. It didn't feel funny to me. They sent me to a psychiatrist at 14. Not because I was that crazy, but I set a house on fire, my brother and his friend. To me, it seemed like the right thing to do, but it wasn't. It just wasn't. It wasn't right. But they were teasing me, and my brother knew how to get under my skin, and nobody could get to me, Tony could. And y'all stopped teasing me. They kept teasing me. They ran into the friend's house and said, "Y'all come out. Yo, man, come out. Yo, come out, my baby." They didn't believe it. Y'all know the rest of the story, right? Now, when the people that come to help you, I better paraphrase this. When the they came, they said, "Who did this?" I'm standing right next to them and I said, "I did it." "You still here?" "Yes, sir." I said I did it. They took me down. Mama came and got me. She started whooping me. I was in my teens, right? She started whooping me. And y'all follow me paraphrasing, okay? She started whooping me and I just politely held on to something. Strapped. And I wouldn't let it go. And I was crying. And my big brother, which is smaller than me, gets up and throws me into the wall. let it go, let it go. And I just held it, and she told him to let me go. And she took him into the back room. She said, don't you ever again put your hands on that boy. Well, Mama, he held the belt, this and that. She said, I know my children. He would have never raised his hand against me. And she wasn't lying. Mama could have kneed me, could have bowled me. That's why I tell you young folks, I better ever catch a young man or young woman in here raising your hand up at your mother. My mama raised me. I don't care if it's a baby. You better tell the baby, stop hitting me before I get over there. Because I'm going to tell that baby, don't put your hands in your mother's face. And at the same token, don't you disrespect your father in my presence. You're not going to do it. I'm telling you, you're not. Take that to the bank. Till you try being one. Let's see how good you be. But I have, somebody said, well, you teach that the man is the head. They say, you're a man of shoulders. No, I'm not. I believe in a man being in his place and being right. I believe in a woman being in her place and being right. And by a man standing his ground and being right doesn't make him a shoulders. A woman being in her place and standing right doesn't make her weak.